Hi, Praveen here. This video is about how to control temperature rise in your laptops. By now, seeing so many videos in YouTube, mostly all will be having an idea of ways to reduce processor heat. Yes, the same old and effective way which you all are familiar with. It's by cleaning your laptop's inbuilt cooling fan as you all see here, by which we can achieve a drastic change in temperature variations. But I am here to explain about other things, thermal paste or thermal grease. The main purpose of the thermal paste is to fill the gap in between the heatsink and the processor. Heatsink is a metal thing which acts as a heat spreader and transfers heat from the processor. Heat sinks are connected to copper tubes, as copper is a very good conductor of heat. The heat produced by these processors pass through these copper tubes, and with the help of this fan, a good air circulation is achieved to cool down these tubes. When we fix this heatsink over these processors, it won't evenly match, and of course there will be a macro gaps in between these two different surfaces by which heatsink won't be effective enough. There comes this thermal paste into action, which fills up gap in between the heatsink and the processors. How often do we need to replace thermal paste? Some manufacturers give a time period of 5 to 8 years, but it's always better to apply once in 2 to 3 years. What if no thermal paste between processor and heatsink? It won't happen straight away, still your processor will work fine, but one day or another, reducing its lifespan, processor will rest in peace. It's always a good choice to select a thermal paste which is made of non-conductors of electricity. What I'm trying to say is, the material used to make or produce these thermal paste also matters. Some thermal paste manufacturers use copper, silver, and other kind of metal particles which are good conductor of heat and electricity. As you see here, thermal paste popped out and it's over the circuit board, and it may cause short circuit and a possible hardware failure. So always Google about the product before choosing a thermal paste. What I suggest as a best thermal paste is Arctic MX4 2019 edition, which is purely made of carbon particles. There are few methods of applying thermal paste: 5-point, X shape, 1 point, and a straight line. Adopt the best effective method based on your processor's size. Invest on laptop cooling pads. Before you purchase it, try to understand your laptop's cooling system, its air intake and outlet, as the purchased cooling pad should not cause any blockage to your laptop's breathing system, and also it will be affected by placing it on a bed or a pillow or a blanket, as most of the laptop's air intakes will be at the bottom part. So try keeping it on a flat surface. Next thing is to clear all unwanted files from your laptop storage drive. More the number of files, more the work involved in your processors. Click on Windows, type RUN, enter, type %temp% and enter again. Then you will get a list of temporary files occupied in your drive. Select all and delete. Skip these files. Deleting temporary files often does no harm to your computer. Next is right click on your drive, select Properties. Disk Cleanup. Check on the boxes which you wish to delete, and click on Delete Files Permanently. Then select Tools, Optimize, and select the hard drive and optimize it, which will defragment all the files stored in your hard drive. Solid state drive is not in that much priority space to be fragmented. Defragmenting, it is something you need to do periodically as the files on the disk become more and more fragmented by time. Doing it weekly or monthly will be an ideal choice as per your usage. Let's compare data in your computer to a binded printed papers. When you start reading it, obviously we all look for page numbers 1, 2, 3 and so on. Imagine that you have a bunch of printed papers and pages are randomly scattered throughout your house. How much stress you will be to arrange those papers. That's what is called as fragmented files. Files will be spread all over the disk. The result is, when you access a file, hard drive reader needle will be on intense stress to quickly find the file for you which you are looking for, which heats up the processor too. This is where defragmentation helps. It is nothing but arranging all the files in sequence, right after another, just like a properly binded book, which makes the process very simple for the processor. Lesser the inputs, better will be the life of your PC. Disassembling and how to apply thermal paste video link can be found on the screen and in the description below. If the video was informative, then please like, subscribe and press the bell icon.